I never thought that this day would come, but what is up, guys? This is Cobb and Loki. It's your time to shine. I gotta apologize for the beginning of this video, man. I did nothing but rip on this champion while Loki was one of the free login reward legendaries. And I think it's because he was just a small step down compared to the free login reward legendary that we had before the Loki, who I kind of remember who that is. But now it's time to give Loki his shot, man. I've currently got him built in crap, just a bunch of hand-me-down gear. I mean, it's pretty good gear, but it's still like a bunch of hand-me-down gear. We've got some builds to try out on the Loki, man, including, of course, the full lethal, just omega damage nuker Loki build. I'm going to be testing it out in a bunch of different areas of the game, starting off with just more of a standard Loki build right here, just perception and cast set. Throw on these new accessories as well, and this is what his build is going to look like for the first round of tests we're going to do in this video, man. We've got a lot of builds to try out. I've also got a very, very special relic that we're going to be testing out on the Loki as well, and just seeing what value we can squeeze from this ginger man. Free gear removal, activate. And let's do this. Hey man, before we get started with the testing, if you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, and get your hands on a free started legendary champion Basilius Rhinus on your new Raid account, then click on the beginner promo link down below, man, and use that link to create your new Raid account right now, man. You're going to get Basilius as your starter Lego, as well as a bunch of epic champions as you level up that new account. You could even get Thor and Foulbeard, man, on day one of a new Raid account right now, at least for like a limited time, by entering beginner promo code Demon Slayer. That's all one word, Demon Slayer, man, to get your hands on Thorlin on day one also. Okay, man, so why the cursed set on Loki the Deceiver? What is this champion all about? Oh god, I didn't even do my intro. This is an episode of Busted or Bad, by the way. Just gonna throw that out there. God, I can't believe I didn't say those words in the start of the video, man. Anyway, the cursed set on Loki, right? 50% chance to place a hex debuff for 2 turns every time he attacks enemies. Why is this a great set to have on Loki the Deceiver? Because he's got an attack all enemies A1 with a 50% chance bucked of increasing the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. It's already great A1 on its own. The fact that it's an attack all enemies type skill makes it very, very good for landing that hex debuff, and then you could also follow this up with this A2 as well, which bucked is a 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance of blessing block active skills, and a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Also, if Loki's under Veil or Perfect Veil, it also applies the debuff spread effect, so effectively applying block buffs to everybody, right? Hex on the A1, increasing debuff duration, and then an AoE block buff skill makes him just pretty solid as an option into Hydra as your block buffs main champ. The A3 on the other hand, bloody useless into Hydra, right? Chance of stealing all buffs from a target enemy. Okay, fair enough, it does have some use into Hydra, but it also steals 100% 10 meter. Yeah, I don't know. It's not super great into Hydra. Ideally, you should have like 100% block buffs uptime anyway. It does give some 10 meter fill as sort of like a consolation to not stealing 10 meter. Also places an increased attack buff on allies for 2 turns. So if you need that in your Hydra team, he could work for that as well. His mastery build, as you can see on this Loki, at least, is just very, very standard. Just a standard damage dealer kind of War Master style, accuracy kind of hybrid support build. And as for the relic that we're testing out on Loki in these initial Hydra runs, that's the first place we're going to test them, then we'll get to the Nuki stuff. We've got the Perched Shadow Relic, dude. Relatively new relic, going on with like the current demon event thing. Gives HP, defense, and speed once you fully rank it on up, where it has a 10% chance to receive an extra turn when using their default skill, if at least one active skill is on cooldown, and so just more A1s coming out of the Loki, especially because in these Hydra runs, there's a pretty good chance we're going to go ahead and disable his A3 so that he's just spamming out more A1s and then throwing out A2s whenever he gets the opportunity. And now this is the team that we're going to be testing the Loki into hard mode difficulty Hydra, man. A mix of budget option champions here, right, with the Royal Guard, with the Doom Priest, with the Geomancer, standing in as like 3 epic champion options. A couple of champions that are much, much better. Nekmothar, Coronar, increased speed, decreased attack debuffs, and of course the Coronar coming in with the provokes. And then we've got the Loki acting as the block buffs champion, but also, hopefully at least, as a secondary damage dealer. This Loki build that we're using right now, again, it's using cursed artifact sets with a focus on more defensive stats, and so his damage isn't going to be out of control. This is, again, just like a very accuracy heavy kind of speed focused Loki build. We are using crit rate gauntlets to get him up to about 100% crit rate and a 5-star crit damage amulet. So we're starting off with like the most budget build of the budget builds. Let's just see how he does. Okay, so here he comes against the Hydra in the opener. He is going to go ahead and deliver the block buffs to all of the Hydra heads right away, which is just lovely. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to let this run for, I don't know, maybe like 40 boss turns or something like that, you know, like on the boss turn counter. See where the damage ends up and see what kind of job he does. Oh my god, dude. He's already applied Hex to most of the Hydra heads already, landing on all but one on that A1 skill, dude, which is what it's all about. I do also kind of want to see his Relic in action as well and just, you know, see how good it feels. That 10% chance to get an extra turn every single time he uses his A1. He's now got the Hex debuff applied on all of the Hydra heads at this point as well, so lots of bonus damage coming out from that over the course of the fight, and of course also making that Head of Mischief targetable. Yeah, not able to target the Head of Mischief, of course, without that Hex debuff up on it. And so let's go ahead and fast forward, maybe like 1050, boss 10 cow 1050 or something like that, see where we end up. Okay, lots of Hydra heads decapitated here, man. Loki is about to attack in with his A1 here, I think. Let's see how it does. Damage is like 50,000-ish, 30,000, 50,000-ish. Yeah, they didn't really have that many decreased defenses and stuff like that, so... And again, this isn't his damage build, so... And well, there you have it, man. Boss 10 count 50 has been achieved. Proof of concept, man. He can do the job. Let's just check real quick what his damage numbers were actually like in a very, very supporting build. Dude! What the hell? That's ridiculous. He actually almost... He kept up with the Royal Guard damage, man. That's... shocking. Like, I'm genuinely very, very shocked by that. I was expecting him to, like, maybe compete with the Geo dude or do, like, maybe 4 million to the Royal Guard 7 or 8 million, you know, but wow, man, he kept up really, really good. And this is the super, super heavy support build, man. Let's go ahead and free regroup, and now let's switch him over to something a little bit spicier, man, a little bit saucier, right? We're going to test him out in other areas of the game a little bit as well, but I'm mostly interested in Hydra, to be fair. Switching the Loki over now to a higher damage build. We're switching around a couple of his cursed set pieces, so he still stays at 100% crit rate. He's going to gain a bunch of crit damage here, though, however, and I'm putting, honestly, quite a lot of resources into trying to pump this build up a little bit while still maintaining pretty decent speeds. That's what the new build is gonna look like. 265% crit damage on this thing. He loses a bunch of accuracy, but you know what? For the sake of just testing these damage numbers, yeah, I'm very, very curious to see this, man. He is in an attack banner as well, so that's why he's lacking a little bit of accuracy now, but I've got a damn good feeling about this one now, man. So now he's in a cruel set as well, extra attack percent, also ignores a little bit of enemy defense. I think the rest of the build I'm just going to leave the same. Once again, I'm just going to run this turn up to 1050, then I'm going to try him out in a more advanced Hydra team and really, really push it to the limit, but for now, last run, 50 boss turn counts, he did about 7.5 million damage this time, and the Royal Guard just one-shotted himself, man. So the damage in this run is gonna come out at... How did we do, man? How did we do? Ooh, somehow interesting, the Loki with like 80% more crit damage didn't out-damage the Royal Guard still. In fact, the damage numbers is almost similar to what it was before, which makes no sense at all. Now there's only one thing to be done, man. Switch the Loki on over to just 352% crit damage. Full lethal build. His speed's gonna take a huge hit. His accuracy is a bit too low. Whatever, dude, doesn't matter. Let's just see how high we can actually pump this nerd's damage numbers now. By the way, part of the reason I'm testing this out is because genuinely Loki, like building him out with like 100% crit and at least a crit damage amulet, even if you don't go all the way, which you probably shouldn't, like let's be real, perception gear is probably the way to go with your Loki. This isn't like a build guide video or whatever, right? We're just doing dumb crap right now. The attack multiplier in his A1 is a 3.6. A 3.6 for an attack all enemy skill on an A1 is really good. Like most attack all enemies type skills on like an A2 or an A3 that are on like a 310 cooldown, for example, for like a legendary champion, have like a damage multiplier of 4. You know, 3.6 for an A1 is actually quite excellent. Time to also, once again, ruin my Thor's build and spend all of these resources switching over the cat's gears. And so final crit damage numbers are going to come in at just under 380%, 5,000 attack. Well, let's do this. Some changes to the team. The legendary is going to stay the same. I'm going to throw Skrank in the team instead, who I think is going to be more of a competitive damage dealer, and his HP burn brings something new to the team as well than the Royal Guard was bringing. I think he's going to be better in this spot. We're also bringing along Warmaster Athorian as a second champion, placing block buffs, because Loki as good as he is at placing block buffs, he's not super reliable. It's not 100% that it's going to spread that block buffs debuff to all of the Hydra heads. So War Master Ithorian, as well as being an absolute monster damage dealer into Hydra, yeah, he's going to kind of cover that base for the Loki a little bit and let us focus more on just dealing damage with the Loki, which is kind of key now that Loki's moving at slower speed. He's not going to be able to do that block damage, that block buffs debuff job. We've also got the Mad Hatter on the team as well, who's bringing Hex, because the Loki's no longer in a cursed set, so we need the Hex debuff. He's going to bring the Weaken debuff, and he's going to bring an ally attack, teams up with the ally with the highest crit damage on the team every single time the Mad Hatter uses this too. And you best believe that the highest crit damage champion of the team is the Loki. Let's see how he does, man. Oh my god. I will say straight away, look at the debuff durations on these Hydra heads, man. And the Loki A1 just cranking them up all the time. We've got like 6-10 duration decrease speeds and Hex debuffs and stuff going up already. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting run, dude. This is going to be real interesting indeed. Now, obviously, it's all a little bit ridiculous. I think I've already stated at that point. Obviously, we should have the War Master Ithorian as the highest crit damage member of this team to be benefiting from the ally attack from the Mad Hatter and stuff like that. But where's the fun in that, right? I wanted to see how much can we actually push the Loki's dam. Oh, first attack coming in against a decapitated head there. Hit for like 200,000. I almost forgot to unpause my recording there, so sorry, I almost missed that one. Dude. So sometimes he gets off these ally attacks and clocks in for like 400,000 damage on the decapitated Hydra heads with his attack all enemies AO1. Other times, as you saw just there, it hit for like 120,000 or something. Huge swings in the damage dealt. We didn't have a decreased defense up just now against that other decapitated head, so I'm sure that's got a hell of a lot to do with it, but okay. I'm going to check on like boss count 1050 or something. Well, every single Hydra head is decapitated, and so I guess we'll show him ally attacking in here. Big old A1. Dude, 500,000 damage on like multiple hits just there, man. Dude, he can actually do a job, you know? Then we followed up with an attack with like 200,000 damage on multiple Hydra heads as well, so a lot of variance, but still. Alright. Boss 10 count 50 is come and gone. Let's go ahead and leave it there for now as the Loki gets in one more attack, man, just for good measure. Let's end battle. Where does his damage compare now? Okay. So not unexpectedly, the War Master Ithorian doing the bulk of the damage, out-damaging Loki by about 9 million, but the Loki actually quite comfortably out-damaging the +4 empowered Skrank, who's absolutely no pushover as well into Hydra. And as funny as this test was to do, it obviously proves why it's just generally a bad idea to build your Loki in just max damage gear. Building him out to just be like an out-and-out nuker is just a little bit dumb. But we had to do it for science, you know that we always do in these busted or bad videos. Before I switch Loki out of this ridiculous gear, you know we've got to jump into live arena and just surprise Pikachu somebody. Man, good thing about running Loki in live arena, by the way, you don't give a damn about Fabian. Who cares if you've got your skills put on cooldown, you know? It's all about the A1 anyway, man. Obviously not really. If you're going to build Loki in PvP, he's going to be like full perception with like 700 accuracy or something ridiculous so that you can steal like enemy stone skins and stuff like that. Good thing about Loki though is that in live arena, you don't have to worry about your opponent picking Loki. You know, it's very, very rarely going to happen, so I think we're safe to last pick the Loki, man, is what I'm saying. I also wonder what my opponent's thinking, looking at my team right now. He's probably like, but where's the damage? And where's the damage indeed, man? We are fit to show this guy where exactly the damage is. If we can slow the Fabian down, that would be great. Okay, we get a bit of decreased 10 meter there. Let's boost 10 meter here with the Freya. I feel like I have to go for the buff steal here on the Queen of Hearts. We get the steal on the Pythion, but now the Fabian gets his turn. What if it might not have been better just to go for the ally attack there, but the Loki actually misstepped it. Okay, let's sleep the nerd, so hopefully the Noelle misses a turn. Dude, do I just A1 with the Loki here? Do I just like give the game up? I think I do. We actually one-shot the Fabian. Okay, dude, that's pretty worth it already. So there's the first revive. The freeze only hits on 1, so that's pretty good. Empress might do something terrible to us here. I'm always nervous whenever this nerd comes on, and I barely even know what he does, to be honest. I haven't faced him enough times yet to really even know what he does at this stage, which is just bad of me as a content creator, but, well, there you go. As long as we get around to the Loki using his A1 again, then I'm pretty happy here, to be fair. We're not able to get up the decreased defense, sadly. Loki is also veiled, so he can't get petrified by the Fabian, which is just great. Loki's actually, like, way underrated by me in Arena, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna attack in again, man. Yes! This guy right now is so confused, dude. I guarantee he's just thinking, What the hell, man? What is going on with this Loki, you know? This guy has... Oh, God. He definitely didn't expect this one coming. Oh, Loki might actually just get the killing blow right here as well. Of course he does. Good stuff. Loki did 400,000 damage, bro. He did nothing but A1 every round. Okay. Really now, though, all fun and games aside, right? I've wasted enough silver mucking around with this. Realistically, this is going to be the Loki standard build that, for the most part, I'm going to keep him in. Crit damage amulet. 100% crit rate with the crit rate gauntlets, you know, like this is a much more sensible build to have him in. This is really him doing his job on the account. If I was using him in PvP, I'd focus on getting him even faster, higher speeds, and a lot more accuracy too. We look at like 600, 700 accuracy or something like that, you know, to be peeling buffs from enemies and doing that kind of thing. So yeah, also the cat's gears, you know, as fun as it is, probably not what we want on the Loki. I think I am fine to go ahead and get this Perch Shadow Raven head on the Loki, though. I did actually quite like that. Now to go back and fix all of the builds and all of my other champions, seeing as I ruined them while testing out Loki. As for other areas of the game, man, in a standard build, I think that the real strength of Loki is his versatility kind of everywhere, right? He is one of those jack-of-all-trades champions where he's not particularly amazing into the likes of Spider and Fire Knight and stuff like that, but he brings enough 10-meter control and just AoE damage and helping out against the waves and stuff that he can earn a place in these sort of progression-style teams. And of course, this team is a little bit stacked in terms of just like perfect budget option champions, right? We got the Deacon in this team, the Haikatoon in this team, the Morag, you know, all nice and built out. But the Loki's going to do his bit in terms of 10-meter control in the squad. And once we've got like a decreased defense up against this wave as well, he'd even be able to help out with the likes of his AO1 doing reasonable damage with the crit damage build that we have on him as well. As he hopefully comes in for, bam, a happy little smack just there. His 10-meter steal is going to help against the waves as well. His hex debuffs are going to help against the waves as well, and blah, 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 blah. And when it comes to the boss, it's really just about his A3 and setting up the sort of boss... I don't know, like turn skill order or whatever to be just right to come in with the likes of a Cold Heart and control 10 meter, just control 10 meter. The Loki's fit to come in just now and steal all of the boss's 10 meter, which is lovely. So even though Loki's 10 meter control skill is a 410 cooldown, because it steals 10 meter, it's actually not quite as bad as it seems as well. And that's the way that Loki is with a lot of his kit. It's the same with his passive, right? It doesn't read quite as good as it is, you know, and so I think personally I could be forgiven for crapping on the guy a little bit when he was first released, especially because you get Loki early on as like a free login reward legendary, like back in the day you used to. And there were already other legendaries on your account that you should probably be putting the skill bucks into, and without bucks, is Loki really worth using on your account? That was the case I'd make back in the day. Now that I've got a fully bucked Loki on my account, and after really testing him out and seeing what he can do in arena with the likes of the just how his passive works and how slippery he is with his evade mechanics and stuff like that, and how much of a jack of all trades he is in just many areas of the game, including Hydra as we've seen today. Yeah, I hope that Loki can forgive me for all of the crap that I gave him dude when he was first released. He's actually a pretty good champion. In fact, one might even say you could give Loki the busted stamp. Okay. Compared to what I thought he was, at least. Is he actually busted? Well, look, he's not bloody Odin, is he? But at the same time, he's a lot better than I gave him credit for, and a lot better than I think a lot of people gave him credit for when he was first released. With that, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you also enjoyed this episode of Busted or Bad. Keep the champion suggestions coming for the series, and don't forget, if you're looking to start off a new raid account or get a friend to start playing Raid Shadow Legends, send them the beginner promo link that is down below at the top of the video description box, just down below this video. The best beginner promo link going, all you're going to do is use that link to create your new raid account, man, for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.